Hey, how's it going? So I'm on here right now because, and I'm wondering if this is also happening to other people. So I'm just like sharing how I'm dealing with it. Today has been one of those days where like things are just like against me or something. I tried to post on one of the social platforms that I'm on, and it is like my laptop isn't working right now because some melted wax got into the keyboard. It works, but it's got other stuff going on, so it's not really working right, and I can't post from it. And so everything has to be done on the phone now, and the phones are messing with me. Like, I'll write it. Like today I was transcribing a post from WordPress to Substack, okay? And so I could have just shared it in the first place, but I didn't, because people tend not to read those, and they tend not to read my stuff anyway. So if I notice that people are not touching something, then I don't want to do that again if I don't have to. But it wouldn't allow me. Like, I typed it all in on the phone, and it was tedious. And the thing about doing it on the phones, for me, for one thing, is one's an iPhone and one's an Android. I don't know if that makes a difference. I feel like it shouldn't, but what do I know about these things? Like nothing. So I will go back like I did today and get something that's, it's only from last week. I have stuff on there from like 5 years ago. But I went on there and I went through all of the trouble of typing it in, and then I noticed as I was typing it, because before I post anything, I always proof it. I always proofread it. And so I'm transcribing it, and there's all these mistakes, and I'm like, what the F, man? I already did this. So I went through and did it again. I had to do it twice. Like, I proofed it, updated it. This is on WordPress. Updated it, went back to proofing, found the same mistakes I had just corrected, and I'm like, what the hell, man? So, finally got it all corrected, I think. I hope I don't go back one day and find out it uncorrected itself. But I keep going back and finding that, because 6 months ago I went through and corrected a bunch of my posts on there. I think I sat there and did all of them, which would have taken days. Well, it took days, because there were a lot. There are a lot. And I keep going back to post them other places, and I want to type them, because like I said, if I just share it, people are not reading it. I don't know what the problem is, because on Substack, or not Substack, but on WordPress now, it adds, oh no, that's Substack. Never mind. Well, I don't know. Like I couldn't get the picture that I wanted for like my thumbnail to stick, so it's just a white square. That shouldn't really matter, because like, what if I just picked a white square? For all you know, that's what I did. But couldn't get that to work either. That was years ago, so I've just left it. But there's the title, and I actually like WordPress posting better than Substack, because when you share Substack, you don't get a preview. You don't, but I'm like on a war with previews, or with not getting them now. There's too many places that are like, I guess because they're the competition, they won't show a preview. Well, you know what? That sucks for the user. Like, we don't care about your stupid little conflicts with your competitors. We just want the site to work. And then you have a share, so if you're going to let us share, can we show what it is? Can you like, why? Okay, so, like, this kind of thing is making me a little nuts today. And, I just gotta say, like, when I express any emotion other than, like, appreciation for somebody else's work or something that I liked or reposted or whatever, they don't really care about what you're saying, I don't think. But, I got sidetracked. I was gonna say something else. Now I can't remember what that was, but the point is like, I think people think that when you identify yourself as like a starseed or a light worker or an awakened person, you're not supposed to have like human reactions anymore or something, which is insane. That's so stupid. Like, stuff still happens to you, and what if you're like me and you didn't like awaken? Well, I didn't awaken and realize what was happening until I was 50. I think it has been happening my whole life as I ascended levels, like graduated levels of consciousness. We all do it. It's not unique to me. But I didn't know I was doing it. You probably didn't know if you like didn't get into the spiritual stuff and awaken all of that knowledge and the thirst to seek it and to ask why stuff is, and because that's what happened to me. You know, I just like, I want to know why, I want to know how it works, I want to know who did it, I want to know. And so yes, you learn to be calm. Like, I've studied Gnosticism and Hermetics and Stoicism. But if you're like me and you started late, I have had a lifetime of reacting and freaking out and getting mad and whatever. And so, without all the other, like, metaphysical stuff, there did come a time where I was like, okay, like, really calm down. Like, you don't need to, like, react that hard. Like, almost nothing is that big of a deal. Just simmer down. But still, stuff happens and I still have a reaction. You know, like, I am human. Sorry, I'm not going to be like this perfect, happy all the time, beneficent, blessed being. Like, that's not me. That's not me. Sorry, I can't do it. I am the awakened person, the style of me, the way I feel comfortable and normal speaking and behaving. And so, really what's got me upset and irritated the most right now, though, is I can't follow, like, famous people I like. I can't follow politicians I like. I can't hardly follow people I like. Like, it's only people that are not, like, any kind of famous that don't look at what I post and, like, block me or, like, just, like, I'm not talking to you or dealing with you at all. And you think I came to their house with, like, axes and pitchforks, dressed in black, breathing fire. Like, I'm not doing that. I'm just posting my weird shit. Like, you don't have to read it. I don't understand why it's necessary to flee, though. But because of the study, I understand that not all of us are on the same, I was going to say psychological, and then that's true. We're not all on the same psychological level. But that's not what I mean. That's certainly not my area of expertise, except for having symptoms. But, like, I'm not some kind of perfection, you know, just because I became awake and aware of stuff. And so you learn things about the condition, about, like, what you're learning and going through. And so you learn that not everybody's going to be on the same page as you. Let's put it that way. And that's fine. It doesn't mean it doesn't hurt my feelings when people don't want to accept me. Again, still human. So the thing that got the bee in my bonnet today is, well, actually the bee's been in my bonnet for a while, because every site now, I guess, because I'm only on a couple, but I'm assuming they're all doing it, because first it was just one, and then I restarted with Blue Sky. I had left for a little while, and they didn't have it. No, they did have it, but I guess they have had it the whole time. I don't know. Some places didn't have it to begin with, but I'm not on all of those platforms anymore. But Blue Sky and Substack both have mute and block, and I wish they would just pick a friggin' lane, and I wish the lane they would pick is block, because mute is like it's an insult, it's a slap in the face, because if you don't like what I'm saying and you don't want to see it, please don't punish me by putting me on mute so that I still get your notifications, but I can't look at your site. Or like on one of them, Blue Sky or Substack, I forget which. I think it's Blue Sky. You can be muted, but you can still see the page, I guess, like the last thing they did before they decided to mute you. Or, this might be what it is. I still get, like, there was a politician that I wanted to follow, not in my state or whatever, but I just thought that I can't pronounce her name, it's Kat Agladala. And she had gotten pushed down by ICE, like, really hard. Like, she got up, but she's young, and I know later that shit hurt, because she ain't that young. It would have hurt anybody. Like, if you hear through the little tiny TV screen phone screen speaker, that person went, like, you heard what you heard. Bones and things were not where they were supposed to be with force, and it was bad. And so I wanted to follow this person, but I wasn't. I didn't follow them. They're just in my feed, but I spoke to them, and man, that always works against me. Like, I could say one or two things, and people are just like, fuck it, I'm gone. And it hurts my feelings. Like, I'm not going to pretend that it doesn't. I don't think I should have to. And people that think that you're all of a sudden, because you are awakened or something, your feelings became steel. Like, that's, nope. Still human, still working at the human thing. I didn't become some ascended master or whatever, and like, apparently it happens to them too, but then I guess they got appearances to meet, like they gotta like look a certain way for the image or for the brand or whatever, and then that's why when they die you hear horrible things about Mother Teresa or Gandhi or Nelson Mandela, because they're not these perfect things that we're imagining. Can we just remember that we're people? We're all like headed towards something. We don't always necessarily realize that what we're heading for is what it actually is. That's kind of what the drawing is about there on the board, is a group of people. They're on a path and they're on their way to, it's like there's a new dawn happening, so signifying a new world. This is the first time I'm explaining that, but that's what that's all about. So those people know where they're going and why they're doing it. There are a bunch of people that are not on that path with them. They're there somewhere. I just didn't draw them. They're the whole rest of the world. Like, I'm going to draw that? No! You just going to have to imagine it. But that's what that is about. Because that's the reality. And so, I hate the mute function. I don't like to use the word hate. I really only take it out when I really, really mean it. And man, I really, really hate this thing. Because, please just block me if you can't stand what I'm saying. Because if you leave it on mute, then you're there, I can't communicate with you, and you fucked me, basically. I can't do anything with you, you've blocked me out, but I still gotta look at you like, no, thank you. I want to say more, and I want it to be all cuss words, but I want to still be on YouTube, so I'm not gonna do that. I'm just really irritated by that, because it is a, like, big F you. Like, I specifically don't want to see your content. And block me, fine, you're gone, because if you don't, I'm certainly gonna block you because you did that to me. Like, you're already not looking, but I gotta still look at you? No! Fuck that! So, this is just an example of what has been happening, like a roller coaster or a loop-de-loop, I don't know, whatever you call it. something with extreme waves that happen kind of continuously, not necessarily regularly, but on a semi-regular basis. Like, it's gonna happen. You might not know when precisely, but you know it's gonna happen. And so it's part of a testing for us right now. Like, I also know that from my studies, that the way it is now is just starting. So everything prior to now that has been any kind of difficult, like any kind of difficult, has been preparation for the more difficult times to come, so that you have experience in getting yourself sorted when difficult stuff is happening. And then you also feel like I'm feeling today, like everything's against me. I couldn't figure out what was going on with Cat blah blah blah's page or account on Blue Sky, because I wrote a repost and I couldn't find it when I went back to look at it, and it didn't show up on my personal page. And I'm like, what happened to it? So the repost isn't working. It's been working all day on all kinds of other stuff. That should have been enough right there, but I had to keep poking it because I didn't understand exactly what was happening. So I did it twice, couldn't find it. Then I tried just a regular post and it didn't post, and I was like, that's it, this bitch muted me. And it's like, God damn it, I'm a fan of you, and now you made me not like you and make it so that I have to go out of my way to go look at your stuff. Gavin Newsom did it. Fuck, dude, I want to see what you're doing. Don't fucking block me out. I'm not the enemy. And here's the thing. If you're on this channel, then you're on the page that I'm on, which is, I'm not just a believer in the Galactic Federation of Light stuff, where the ETs are everything. If you bother to look at the dang videos instead of looking at the title and the title card and making a judgment, if you just look at it and see what it is I'm talking about. Because here's the thing, if all of the rest of the stuff that I say is acceptable to like, and it's usually because it's something of theirs that I liked and reposted, that's what people like. But when it's something that comes out of my head or that I post and like, not that many people are into it. And I guess I can handle that, but I don't like the reactions back. Like, you don't have to be all like, woo, my favorite thing all the time. No, of course not. But there's a way to like disengage from people you don't want to engage with that's not just insulting, like muting people is. And also the not understanding that it's not just that I believe it, you just haven't caught up yet. It's true. Most of what we think we know completely wrong, either because we got the information given to us wrong, or not enough of it, or they just have it wrong because they don't know. They haven't gotten the full picture yet. That's what learning is. That's how it works. My cat decided to come in. Yes, I'm talking about you. So, the thing is like, to a degree, I can be emotional about it, but I don't want to, like, I want to, like, have, like, whatever reaction I'm going to have and then move on. But so, this is, like, I needed a little bit more. I needed to, like, get it out of my system. But then I realized it's probably happened to you people, too. You know, like, you're just having your day. Like, the day started great. Like, nothing was wrong. Everything was happy and optimistic. And then, like, poo-poo started to happen. And it was like, why? But I've talked about this before. Like, it could be astrology. It could be planets changing position, just minutely, and it could just, like, upend your whole thing. Like, it's just kind of crazy right now. And then stuff is happening that is out of character, is unexpected, it's unwanted. there's just a lot of unusual things happening right now, and there's a lot of physical stuff that is happening to people that, again, if you're not into what I'm into on this channel and the stuff that I share, then you're not going to know that there are reasons and explanations for why the stuff you're feeling what you're feeling. But that also falls in the realm of too weird for people, I guess. But again, if you know about this stuff and you are following along, then you know that it's real and it's true. There's reasons why we're not believing it and we don't know about it. But again, you have to pay attention to it and look at the videos and learn a few things and know that it's not people just going crazy. Because, like I said, how can I be nuts if, like, everything else I'm saying except that makes sense for you? You don't see a disconnect there? You don't see a point where you can believe up to and then it just drops off? That's you making that decision. I'm not making you do that. I'm not making anybody do anything. In fact, I'm not making you look at what I post. In fact, I hope you look at it, and I hope you look at it and go, wow, that's weird, or I can't believe that, or that's like a sci-fi, which I hope that when I post Galactic Light Federation or Chosen Chronicles videos, that people can at least go, what's this? Is this like a sci-fi? And then look at it, because it's also not unlike a lot of the metaphysical, psychic, medium, channelings. It's not unlike those things. It's actually part of it. They're part of the same federation. But people are not ready for it, a lot of people, and so it just makes it hard for someone like me that knows these things and can't get people to relate with. Like, it is so hard. And I get tired of just talking to my cat, because he doesn't answer back, really. He's not a conversationalist, and I'm not psychic to that degree. Like, we have a little bit of a connection. Like, I can be sitting outside, and if I want him to come to me, I can silently just call him in my mind, but it doesn't always work. It works a lot, but the more I do it, the more it works. But it's not like we're having, like, hey, what'd you do when you're outside running around and I couldn't see where you were, kitty? Well, I was eating a mouse and fighting with a cat and playing with a... I don't know. We don't have that level of conversation. I hope to attain it one day. He's walking away like, God, do you ever stop talking? Be careful what you wish for, Kenny, because if I learn how to do it psychically, I'm just going to be blabbing in your head all the time. So what helps with the feelings, like what my personal struggles throughout the day today, they're going to be different from everybody else's, but everybody may well be feeling the whoop-de-woos. So, that's one way I deal with it. The anger and the disappointment. And yes, I get angry because it is not fun being the person that everyone thinks is so weird that they can't even look at your thing or talk to you, or like, if it was in person, they wouldn't hang out with me, which would feel even worse. But it's just the way it is. It's just the way they are, and it's just the way I am. Like, I wish I wasn't as sensitive, but then if I wasn't as sensitive, it would take away from, I think, the other sensitivities that I really do want and want to enhance, like psychic communication with my cat. So I'm kind of feeling my feels. And, oh God, which way does this thing open? There we go. I have to be careful when I open stuff, because if it doesn't open fast enough, I get impatient and then break the package. I literally asked someone else to open this for me so I wouldn't destroy it. But anyway, these cards, touch the heart a lot, I feel. And they also they're really feelings cards. Like, I'm getting chills just holding them right now. For me, these particular cards are very powerful, very strong, and it's probably a combination of, like, my general building of my sensitivities, like, beyond the getting the hurt feelings part, but the psychic sensing, that I can, like, really connect with these cards. But I also really connect with the woman that made them, and I also really connect with the Marys, Magdalene and Mother Mary. And, this is a lot of the stuff I talk about, like, as far as spirituality, does overlap with, like, religious stuff. I mean, talking about Jesus and the Marys, that's, like, religious stuff. Talking about the Bible, that's religious stuff. But I'm not really talking about religious stuff. Like, you don't see me in any church or anything, do you? Or preaching hellfire and doom and destruction or any of that. Like, if you want religion, obviously you're not finding it here. That's not what I'm doing. And anyway, that was built up around these people. Like, Jesus and the Mary did, like, a ministry as apostles, and Jesus as the Christ. But shoot, they had it hard too. Like, they couldn't just run around and say what they wanted to say. They would just kill you. Now I only have to get my feelings hurt. In most cases, it doesn't get that extreme. But anyway, they have some sort of powerful effect that I can physically feel. Like, now, okay, so I was getting chills. Now something else has happened. I don't even know what the heck. Under my skin is electric. I don't know. Okay, so I'm going to pick one. I've been talking and shuffling. Ones have popped out and I didn't take them. What is wrong with you, dork? I'll take this one. So it is the number 8. And I'm mentioning the number, but I gotta say, I counted these by hand. There's 44, okay? There's a 49 card in here, so I don't think I dropped any. So I'm not real sure what's up with the numbers. I've looked at the rest of the packaging, but I think I need to have somebody with better vision look to see, because usually they say how many cards you get in a deck. I want to know so I can, like, reference them properly. But anyway, otherwise I'm just going with just regular numerology, or if you want to do gematria, I don't know if there's a difference. Seems like I hear some people talking about, like, biblical gematria or whatever, and there's, I think, a corresponding, like, Hebrew numerology thing that has a name, but I'm just doing, like, just what's called numerology. Like, I'm not trying to ascribe any other powers to it or anything. So, number 8 in tarot or numerology generally refers to strength, or, here's the 8, I'm going to turn it sideways, or infinity. So that's why I'm mentioning the numbers. I haven't got it figured out, like, how many there are in the deck, like I already said, which I just think is so weird. And I'll be really bummed if they fell and slid under the stove or refrigerator. Sorry, I'm just really neurotic today. So here's what the number 8 card says. Remember, thy heart holds no lies. I really believe this stuff is true. Like, from Mary talking to you through the cards to the ETs being part of the angelic realm, and it's all connected. If the creator of all is the creator of all, then everything is part of God. it's a weird argument that the religious people come up with. Like, they think, like, God made this over here, but everything else is fake, evil. What? I don't, like, what? Where'd it come from then? If God made everything, like, it's so crazy. Anyway, that's why I should stay away from the religion part as much as possible. The card says, "Remember, thy heart holds no lies." I'm not lying about my belief. For in thou heart is thy only truth in love. That is the connecting fiber to everything being connected to the all that the Creator created. When you just like cut away everything else and you go to the basest element, which is not a base element, what you find is love. Anywhere, like even in a dark place, when you sort of unwind the tangles that get dark, and we get dark in, like we run ourselves into our own labyrinths and drive ourselves nuts. Kind of like I was doing before I started doing this. But you gotta have a perspective, you know? Like, I know certain things to be true. This kind of thing didn't just start happening to me with the reactions from people, and I wasn't always saying this stuff, but I was always getting this kind of reaction. And it's been difficult. I'm sure other people that will watch this will relate to being unrelatable to everybody else in your life. But not. I mean, you're there, you're in your family, you're in the schools, and yet there's always like a little something between you and everybody else. I don't know how else to explain it. So, through the studies, I've learned a lot of reasons why, like, I couldn't get arrested having a friend, or like a romantic relationship, couldn't hardly get one. It's so hard. And then when I did a lot better with friends, like platonic friends, but romantic relationships, I've done poo. I'm not, well, I don't know if I'm good at them or not, because whenever I get one, it's not been real. It's been like two people doing separate things. Like, what it has felt like a lot for me is like the people going, "Oh, I want to experience this person as a novelty," because I don't, like, I'm black, but I'm not like into black people. I'm not, certainly not looking to date any, and I'm typically attracted to white guys, more or less. Like, other things can happen, but that's generally what I'm into. And so you'll meet those people that are all, "Oh, I want to see if having sex with a black girl is different." It's not. We have all of the same stuff. It's a technique thing. It's not a black thing. So, hi. Like, how could we be that different if we have all of these same different parts? But we're just the wrong kind of darker color, because there's all kinds of shades of white and swarthy and olive, and like, not everybody's alabaster friggin' white. So, but you may have alabaster white in you. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked now. Maybe that's for the better. Maybe it's time for me to stop talking. Soon. I'm almost done. So my point is it can come over you, like the feeling of whatever kind of negativity it is for me, whatever it is. Like, for me today, it was things not working and me not working for people. So it's just frustrating, and you can wallow in it, which is not a great idea, because that just makes you feel exponentially worse. Or that's how it works for me. Like, it doesn't get better if I decide to pull my ass out of that feeling. And the way I do that is I'm a silly, silly woman. So I laugh easily, and I know to go find things that are going to just change my mood. And if you don't know that, there's a tip for when things are feeling out of control and you feel like things are trying to drag you down and make you not happy and frustrated. And that is, well, we really want to stay away from that right now, because it's really, the battle's heating up, you know. I don't know, like it feels like a battle. It feels like forces are trying to make me feel go low when I don't want to. I don't want to be there. I want to share what I know because it's exciting and it's fun to learn about it. And my God, it's the truth. Like, it's real. I know you're saying, how could that be real? You've never seen it, or it's like so many people are. How can you be so sure it's not, right? Why do you think there's so many people? There's too much evidence. I'm not even, like, why am I arguing it? I just believe it. There's no if, and, or maybe. I just believe it. I have no feeling that is like, I don't know. And I get those easily. Like, my sensor for that works well. I ain't not getting a problem here. So people just need to get to the same pages together, and consciousness levels, which is essentially the same thing I just said, need to elevate for people to be able to take these things on. It's a matter of readiness. Like, just like you don't let a child watch a scary movie because it'll give them nightmares until they're old enough to not be scared by things in that way. And sometimes it takes you going from being a small child that needs a lot of care from adults and needs mommy or daddy for protection when it's thundering, or they need a nightlight or a doll or a security blanket or whatever it is. But you grow up and you need less of those things. You're able to support yourself more in those ways of, what is the word? I don't know, just holding yourself together so that you're not mentally falling apart. I think that part starts happening when you're a lot older than a child. But other things start when you're a child, and they just go on until you're an adult, until you realize, oh, I made a huge rut doing that, and it was the wrong thing. But you don't know. And like, even your parents, if they never make that sort of leap to like believing things that were unbelievable until they decided to give it a chance, basically. A lot of people have to make leaps and come to terms with things before they'll also believe what I know to be real. That's okay. I understand that. I'm finishing up here. I understand, yet and still I get my feelings hurt. I am not perfect. People that are more advanced and have been, that are farther along in this spiritual study, belief, etc., whatever you want to call it, doesn't matter. You know, again, everybody's on their own page. And you're going to advance because that's how pages and books work. You finish the page and then you move on to the next chapter. Eventually, unless you're one of those people that it's all, I've been reading the same page for 6 months. That's something else. It's for another video. Alright, I feel better now. And it's like, one last thing. I think it's like having a substance abuse problem or an addiction recovery. When you're in recovery, you have to take it day by day. You know, minute by minute. Really, just like anything else, though, you don't want to get too far over your skis into the future or into the past. It's better to just stay stable in the present. That's where the stability lies. Wow, I did not mean to make that sound. That was interesting. Okay, this shirt has been driving me crazy. And I'm done. Thank you and good night.